Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Holly, and if you're new here, my channel is just all about senior stuff. I'm almost 65. I will be 65 this Sunday. Today's video, I wanted to talk a little bit about how you can live on less if you're retired. I'm semi-retired, and these are just a few of the things that I do every day to spend a little bit less. It never hurts to save a little bit of money. So let's get right into it. Tip number one would be shop at Aldi. If you have an Aldi near you, I always want to say Aldi's, but my daughter-in-law corrected my son and I and said, it's Aldi. There's no S on the end. So I'm going to try to say Aldi. But I have shopped at Aldi for years, and I actually prefer some of their brands over the regular brands. If you have one available to you, then I highly recommend that you try shopping there. Their produce didn't used to be great, but now it's really, really good. They made some changes a few years ago, and now their produce section is really good. So anyway, like, don't think that shopping at Sam's Club or Costco is really going to save you a lot of money, because I find shopping at those places, not only you've got to pay for the membership, but you have to buy in bulk. And if you're single or just a couple living in retirement, you don't really need all of that stuff. So number one tip would be try shopping at Aldi, because really it's just so much cheaper and so great. Try their chocolate. Like, their chocolate comes from Germany and it is fantastic. So that's my first tip. Tip number two would be shop at thrift stores. There's so much stuff in this world. Why add more to it? I get asked questions all the time about, like, where my top came from. Where did you get that coffee cup? Which, by the way, I have a coffee cup collection. So I've had several people comment on that, but most of them have come from thrift stores. And I drink tea, not coffee with butter. Somebody asked me that. But anyway, like, just in this video right now, this top came from Goodwill. These jeans came from Goodwill. All of the pictures, let me see if I can show you a little bit better. Behind me, that whole wall of pictures came from thrift stores. This little box, I think, came from a household sale. This table came from a household sale. I really live what I preach. So I highly recommend, like this sweater, Ralph Lauren sweater, and I got it for $4.99 at Goodwill. I mean, I just can't recommend thrift shopping enough. Plus, it's fun. It's just fun to see what bargains you can find. So anyway, that's tip number two. Tip number three is kind of, people will probably think is weird, but if you buy bottled water, get a filtering water pitcher. I mean, I can't promote this enough. And it's something I came across in a thrift store. It was new in box, stuff like that. I will only buy if it's, like, never been opened or something. I bought a filtering water pitcher, and I can't say enough about it. Like, I don't buy any bottled water anymore. I feel like it's healthier than just drinking water out of the tap. And I just can't recommend the filtering water pitcher enough. They're great. So that's my third tip. Tip number four would be, if at all possible, don't carry any credit card debt. I have no credit card debt. And if you are pre-retirement, I encourage you to pay off any credit card debt that you have. I mean, that's just kind of a given. If you can't, then maybe take out a lower interest loan to consolidate your credit card debt. But if you are headed towards retirement, lay off the credit cards, because you don't want to carry that into your retirement or semi-retirement. So that would be tip number four. Tip number five to spend less in retirement would be Stop going out to dinner all the time. I think this is one of the biggest ways that seniors can save money, especially I think senior couples, because I just think they tend to go out to dinner more than we single people. I could be wrong on that, but going out to dinner like every weekend or twice a week is so costly. Try to replace it with something like pack a picnic and go to a park, go for a hike. Anything that's kind of a healthier alternative than going out to dinner where you just tend to eat food that's higher in fat. Um, the salt content is a lot higher when you're eating out. So I just encourage you to find, if you want to save money and want to spend less in retirement, try doing something other than eating out. I mean, I think even going to a movie these days is less expensive than eating out. So, anyway, that's my tip number 5. Tip number 6, downsize. If you're living in a great big house still, I highly encourage you to downsize. I did that 4 years ago. I moved into this house that is a 2-bedroom, 1-bath house. It is 2 stories, but I have no problem with stairs. The house that I lived in before this, now I'm going to preface this by saying I live in an area where, a few years ago you could buy a mansion for $100,000. Not possible post-pandemic, but a few years ago you could buy a huge house for like under $100,000. But my old house was a 5-bedroom, 3.5-bath old Tudor house. It was beautiful and I loved it, but not practical for a single woman living alone. And I feel like my house now is a little bit cozier too. So that would be my 5th tip. Downsize if at all possible, either to a smaller house or an apartment or a condo. You know, not only will you save money on maybe your mortgage, but you'll also save money on utilities. And it's so much easier to maintain a smaller house or an apartment or a condo where you don't have to do any outside work. So that would be my tip number 6, downsize. Tip number 7 isn't really about spending less. It's kind of about making more. Like if you need to make more money to, pay your bills and have a better life, then try a little side hustle. Try a YouTube channel. Which reminds me, I'm going to be putting out a video soon on what my first paycheck from YouTube looks like, and it's awesome. So start a YouTube channel, start an Etsy shop. If you're crafty, start an Etsy shop. I had an Etsy shop for 10 years and I've always had a commercial cleaning business, but I had an Etsy shop for probably 10 years. I think I quit like 4 years ago, where I made hand stamped dog tags. And I had years where I did 6 figures in my Etsy shop. So if you're a crafter, try an Etsy shop. I tried eBay. I know there's people out there that are successful at it. I was not, but I only tried to resell clothes. Another thing that I would recommend as far as a side hustle, if you are in great shape and you like to clean, and that would be office cleaning. If you do, like I said, I've had a commercial cleaning business for years. We don't do houses because they don't, doing residential cleaning does not pay as well as doing offices. But if you like to clean and you can pick up a doctor's office or an accountant, an attorney, I built my entire business by sending out letters to people. So you don't have to be techie to do that. And maybe if you like to clean, you will enjoy it. So that would be probably my highest recommendation, just because I know what cleaning accounts pay. And I have kept a couple of my commercial accounts. Commercial accounts can pay $100 an hour. So never, if you decide you're going to do this, never bid a job um, hourly. Always just give them an amount that it will cost, whatever they want, weekly, daily, twice a week. Only give them a set amount for how much it's going to cost. Never give them an hourly rate. So that would be tip number 7, get a side hustle. Tip number 8 would be just keep track of your expenses. Like, do this for 3 months. Write down everything you spend money on. Put it in categories like utilities, entertainment, like that. And then at the end of 3 months, see where most of your money is going and try to cut back in those areas if you are always going over budget. This is really, really helpful. I mean, just keep a notebook with you at all times and always write down whatever you are spending and do it for like 3 months. It really does help. So those are just a few tips I have as far as spending less in retirement or semi-retirement like me. And I don't encourage people to, I believe in the law of attraction, and I don't encourage people to have like a lack mentality. Don't be like, oh, I'm poor, I can't afford that. Look at it more like, okay, I have this money, and this is where I choose to spend it. Don't look at it like you can't afford the $200 purse. Look at it like I prefer to spend my $200 on this, or this instead. Don't look at it like you're poor. Don't try to look at it, like I said, from a lack mentality kind of a place. But that's my tips for spending less in retirement. If you would like to support my channel, I do have a buy me a coffee link in the description. I I've had a lot of people do the super thanks, super gift thing, which I really, really appreciate. But I just want to tell you that if you want to support my channel, buy me a coffee is so much better because they only take 5%. When you do the super gift thing, YouTube takes like 50% of it. It's ridiculous. Um, and if you want to support my channel, you certainly don't have to. And you want to buy me a coffee, you can buy me one or, as many as you want. And you don't even have to have a membership to that. You can just go to buy me a coffee and buy me a coffee. Like I said, I kind of hate that YouTube, like somebody did a super thanks for like $50, and I think I only got like 20 of it. So I hate that they do that because people think I'm getting it. So anyway, I just wanted to put that out there. If you want to support my channel, and you want me to get more of it, do the buy me a coffee. I'm going to be adding something to my buy me a coffee account in the near future that I'm kind of excited about. And my grandson will be here with me to talk about that. So I hope these tips were helpful. So I'll see you in my next video. Until then, I hope you're having a great day. Bye-bye.